All right, guys, we're back. Video number 2. This is not going to be my own Inside the Mind. We are here with Mr. Richie Preston, DSRL 360 Open Series champion for season 12, I think it was, he said.
Yeah, season 12.
Season 12. Trophy on the way. Before we dive into this, just give me a little thoughts and feelings on what it feels like to be a champion.
Well, going into this, we decided to finish in front of Michael Sheridan there. He's starting, I believe, 8th there on the grid. So had to finish in front of him, and I had Billy up in the stand keeping me calm. So just trying to work our way through the field. Aggressive, but not too aggressive, and see how it ends up here.
Yeah, Billy, unfortunate here in the open race, was able to sit up in the spotter stand for Richie for this one. We had 30 laps on tap, as usual, in DSRL. Michael Sheridan starting up in 8th. Richie Preston here in 18th. Just had to finish in front of him, really. I think you were separated by 6 or 8 points or something like that.
It wasn't very much.
Yeah.
It was basically whoever finished in front of the other one was going to win.
So the points are, I think there's 4 points per position in DSRL, if I'm not mistaken. So like 150.
I want to say it's 6.
Okay, maybe it's 6.
I think it is 6. Yeah,
So
like, it was. And he would have gotten
144. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so 150, 144, 138. Okay, yeah. So that makes sense. So you're like 8 points apart, or maybe even only 6. I don't remember what he said. But during the broadcast, Roger said if you guys could somehow tie, I didn't understand that anyway, but either way, you both were just shooting to finish in front of each other. But Richie, a little bit tougher time doing that, starting 18th here. What we're going to do basically here is just talk to Richie a little bit as the laps go by. We start, as always, on lap 4 for DSRL, 30 laps. We're going to watch the start here. We got a caution. Let's see. It looks like 10 laps in, then 14 laps in. So 2 cautions. Yes? Yeah, 2 cautions.
Yeah, yes.
2 cautions. Richie found his way to the front about halfway through. You were sniffing his rear end, weren't you?
Yeah. We got that caution in there, and that kind of helped us, the second one. So
okay,
kind of got us on his back bumper on the start. So
all right.
And early, he made a bunch of really good moves too. Of
just being smart.
Passes, just being extremely smart.
That's what I want you to talk about here, Richie, too. As these laps kind of tick by, I'll fast forward here to, until we see you get maybe in some trouble. Here's trouble right away on lap 1. Looks like
Billy's telling me to be calm first lap. I mean, I know the people I'm racing around, how they race. Sometimes they're out of control. I mean, that's just Nate. He didn't really expect me to hit the middle there. It's really nothing big. But Ryland, sometimes, no offense to Ryland, sometimes he can be a little bit all over the place. So just trying to work our way past them, but not crash the car either and ruin our chances. So
4 wide up here in front of you too. These guys got in trouble here, and then he got turned around. Was there a caution that early?
No, I don't say there was. No, and we were extremely tight. I was way too tight up on the cushion early on. Made a little too big of an adjustment, I thought, to tighten the car up. I wanted it tight because last time we were here, Billy tightened it up a lot and was blowing my doors off. So just kind of tried what he was doing and see if we could work our way through here.
And I want to point out to everybody, let me get a cockpit view as we go by some of these laps here, because sometimes the biggest thing is always everybody forgets that there's more than just 10 feet in front of you. There's a huge wreck here. A guy gets shot all the way up the track. Easily could have collected you if these guys gathered up and you don't see them slowing down. Luckily, it goes off the track. Everybody keeps their speed up. But it looks like, just the middle for you is the safest option.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if they're going all over the place, just kind of want to try to avoid them. I mean, it's reaction time, so you got to kind of go where they're not if you can. Where that instant, I think that was Mason got off the track there, and we were able to go below him there. So
no caution for this JB going off the track up in front of there, too, it looked like. It's Lernerville, that's going to happen. Yeah.
Yep.
Look like, as usual, Lernerville's kind of top dominant in 3 and 4, but that middle comes in. Did you go to the top at all here in 1 and 2 as I go off the top there?
No, not really, because like I said, I was just too tight to run up there. I didn't want to risk the chances of putting it over because I was so tight. So I just kind of went to the bottom, and as you can see, I got my Rylan there, and we started making a move. And Billy said my lap times are great, so I was gonna keep running my race there until the bottom went away, which in the middle and the bottom kind of stayed there the whole race.
Yeah, Rylan gets really tight there too. Goes over the top. A lot of
And
cars
that's
off the
always
track
something-
early.
And that's always something to consider too. Is even if you roll off with dirt and the car is not great at the beginning, it's going to change as the fuel burns off and the track changes. With
Yeah.
Lernerville like
Absolutely.
this, the track's not going to change a ton, except for the middle's going to come in when that top starts really getting bad and really
That's
starting to
where
get
we
sketchy.
strived. We strived really good there. We tightened it up. It was too tight in the beginning, but at the end, it was really, really, really good. So,
Yeah, and I think Shay said it the last video too, setting the car up for the last 10 laps. You know, if you're insanely fast right at the beginning, you're probably going to be in trouble at the end of the race, because more than likely you're not going to be very good at the end.
Yeah.
absolutely.
So you really have to kind of keep it in mind of be patient, let the car come to you. But like Richie said earlier, don't overdo it early and blow it over the or blow it over the bank or get into a wreck or something like that. Being patient is just far more important.
Here, I think this is our first caution. Something came out. A car went around on the front, I think.
Yeah.
This, you restart in 13, so you've gotten 5 spots since then. You've seen Michael not make any ground. What's the thought process here after the first caution? Because DSRL, I talked about this in the first one too. There's not very many cautions here. We can expect maybe 1, but there's been times where we get none. So 2 is kind of a rarity. We did get 1 later on in the race, but what's the thought process here? You know your lap times are good. You finally can see Michael. I know you probably got relative up. What's going through your head?
Yeah, I could see him like a little bit before that last caution, but I'm just working on hitting my marks and just kind of going where the guys in front of me aren't, and then eventually I'll get to them. So just working one car at a time here and being patient and worrying about Michael when I get to him here. So just kind of working around these guys and see where we end up.
A big moment up in front of you here. Slowed down a lot of cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars. Looks like they got slowed down. Michael's out in front of that. There's another caution? Yeah, another caution, I guess.
Yeah, looks so, yeah.
Maybe there was back-to-back cautions. Maybe that's why it was... All right, restarting on lap 13. There's 20 to go, basically.
We're up to 11th.
Up to
There's you in front of
11th.
me
There's
there.
me. Good little slide job on Randolph there. He tucks back underneath you. I see you hitting that berm a lot. What's the mindset when you get that thing up on there, knowing that it's just a hair away from sending you off?
Well, when we carry so much speed down the front stretch here at Lernerville, you tend to get up on that trying to hit the top going into 1, which that's a bad habit I have, and I know a lot of drivers have. So you get on that, you just kind of got to lift and get back in it and run the top or wherever you're going to run. But I tend to hit that a lot, so it's just a mistake, and you gotta tend to work around that, break those habits.
So we got 10 or 11 laps here green. I talked about in the first video for guys that are new to this and they see a track like this for the first time. They're like, oh my God, where am I going to run? What's the safest option here? I can see marbles in 1 and 2, and I can see marbles in 3 and 4. It looks like the option for you is hit the marbles in 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 every time around. You're getting the right sides in them, getting plenty of drive off the corner, picking off guys left and right. Now you just got to run down this pack again.
Yeah, I'm just trying to hit my marks here where the lighter dirt is. The darker dirt's obviously the more slick. So just the top, there's obviously that lane right up on the edge, and like I said, I was too tight to run up there. So I'm just trying to hit my marks on the bottom there with the lighter dirt. As you can see, the middle's starting to come in, or 1 lane off the bottom there. So just trying to hit our marks here, and hopefully we can run these guys down.
Billy, right now, as a spotter in a situation like this, a lot of guys like to have a friend in the booth for situations just like this. High stress. It's the final race of a season. You see 4 cars like this, throw a blanket on them, and this guy's just sitting back here waiting for something to happen. As a spotter, are you telling him anything at this point?
Depends on the driver, and I think really the only things that I was telling Richie was just stay calm. You're quicker than them, even if it doesn't look like. Because on the screen, it really doesn't look like he's gaining.
Like you're getting, yeah.
much. But on lap times, he was gaining about a half a tenth a lap. So it really doesn't translate. Now you can start to see he's catching him a little bit.
Cars
So,
are getting bigger, yeah.
yeah, you don't really want to change. You don't want to change the mindset and try to push, because once you start pushing, especially in the slick, that's when you start going backwards.
Right.
So you just kind of keep them going the same direction that they're going. Don't overdrive it. Don't cook the tires. Don't, and really, even in the real car, in the real life scenario, we do the exact same thing. Sometimes it just depends on how much knowledge you want. Some people want to hear lap times every lap. Some people want to hear their gap every lap. Richie's the type that you just kind of got to keep him calm and let him do his thing. Let him know that what he's doing is correct and not going to put himself in jeopardy. So even without a yellow, I felt confident enough with him that you can see Sheridan on the screen that once you get up front with those guys, you're really not going to have to worry too much about wrecking yourself out or getting wrecked out. So it's more so don't hurry up and get to them, but just get to them. There's only 10 laps left ish, right around there.
Yeah, almost.
But you're only 3 spots behind where you need to be. So you've only got to get 3 more spots in 10 laps. If you can catch them, great. But either way, you're doing the right thing by gaining on them each lap. That's just mainly the important thing. Staying calm. Don't overdrive the car. Let the car do the work. Don't overdrive it.
There's 10 laps to go here. These 4 cars, myself, Michael, who you have to get to, we're about a corner, just a little less than a straightaway ahead of you. Are you praying for a caution comes out. Are you praying for a caution here, Richie, or do you kind of want to see maybe these cars get tangled up, or your lap times are consistent? I think looking at lap times here, 15.3s and 15.4s, then they start to get to 15.5s. That middle obviously is going to go away eventually, but the cars in front of you, they're running 15. Well, it looks like Alex was the one involved in the wreck because he ran out of lap times there. Here's Diller, 15.6s, 15.5s, so 15.8. So you're obviously more consistent. Are you praying for a caution because of that consistency, hoping that, hey, I know I can get, I just need a chance to get to these guys because the track's so slow right now that I need a chance to restart right behind them, and I know I can get by them just based on how consistent I've been?
Yeah, I was hoping for one. We were gaining on him, but like Billy said, it was only like not even half a tenth a lap, so we were gonna run out of laps sooner or later. You know what I mean? So just we were hoping for a caution. We were gaining on him, like you said, but just a caution, like we put us all back together and just really showed who the faster cars were, especially on the restart.
And you see these bunched up times here, restarting on lap 27. Mine go to 15.6s and 15.8s. Before that, I think, my times look like they're the fastest in that 4-car bunch at 2s and 3s. 5 and stuff mixed in there every once in a while. But when we restart, looks like us 4 cars drop to the 6s and the 8s. Here's a 9. And then you're still back here running 5s. So you got your chance to restart. Let's go to that restart here on lap, what's it going to be, lap 27? Let's find us bunched up here. There we go. So we get bunched up. The guy you need to catch is basically 2 spots away. There's less than 10 laps to go now. The cars, where's it at? Who's up here? These 4 guys, Tyler, Cameron, John, and Josh, pretty much all checked out the whole time anyway. No pressure is going to be in front of these 4 cars, so you know that they might not have to battle if they get spread out again. What's the goal on the restart? Trying to stay as close as possible. Throw a slider right away, run behind them, wait for a mistake. What's going through your head?
Just kind of seeing where they're going, and I'm just trying to go where they're not. Like I said, I've been running the middle, and I was running faster lap times than they were in the middle. So see Dillard, I think that was there in front of me. He went high, so I ducked a little bit below him to see if we could get a run there. And as you can see here, we're gonna get a run out of 4. And then Shay, you're racing these guys pretty aggressively, which kind of played into my favor there. Just with your slide job and stuff, kind of holding them up and getting us all close together there. That really helped us.
I talked about this with Josh, and I'm behind Kevin here, and coming off the corner, we kind of get into each other, so I had no choice to get this low line. Entering this corner, I thought it was me and and click. I thought that was our corner. There was nobody left in front of us. So I enter this corner. This is my view, basically, right? It's so hard. I mean, I have triples, but you can't see out the right side of these things until they cut the corner of the wing off. It's so hard to see cars out there. So I send it full sail in here. I see these two. I'm like, okay, where's third and fourth? Because I wasn't in fourth throwing the slide job. So what happened? Here comes JB. I was like, okay, now it's clear. It's got to be clear. My spotter's not saying anything. Right here, here comes a wing and a car outside call from the spotter, and a massive net code almost kills Josh, and just gets him up on the right sides a little bit, and he somehow saves it, and then we all just check up. Michael's unfortunately involved in that, and you're sitting back here pretty just running the marbles through the middle with 5 cars now slowing each other down, slide jobs right across the nose of his, of all the other cars, and here's Michael. You're just basically sitting in the catbird seat this whole time. Another slide job right in front of him.
Little contact there at a 4. He was cutting down. Just trying to gain on him. I know I'm faster. As you can see, we're just gaining time through the middle, and just trying to hit my marks here. And as you can see, Shay, you're sliding them like you were before, and that's kind of helping me out a little bit here. So I get a run on Dillard here into 1, I believe, and duck to the middle here.
Billy, you've done this in real life, and I know it's a little bit different on here. Obviously, everybody says it's similar in the fact that the car requires the same amount of finesse. But what is it like driving in traffic on here and driving in traffic in real life?
Honestly, it's a lot more. I think it's a lot more intense, actually, on the sim than it is in real life, only on the basis that from an adrenaline standpoint, obviously not, but from an actual racing standpoint, you can throw things on here as far as like slide jobs and doing some passing that you normally wouldn't do in a real car necessarily. Yeah. But as far as working traffic, it's really about the same. Like what Richie was doing was absolutely correct. If you've got guys in the bottom, the middle, the top, there's nowhere for you to go right now. They're basically 4 wide at this point.
Yeah.
So really the best option for Richie, and I still remember just telling him, just stay calm. You're faster than them. You're fine.
And we're doing nothing but slowing each other down, except for him.
Whenever you start throwing slide jobs on somebody, all you're doing is throwing you both down. How many times in real life have you seen, or really even on the sim, how many guys have you seen basically check out, second place gets to them, and they start throwing slide jobs, and then here comes third back into the play. Uh-huh. So it's not necessarily that the third place car at that point is faster. It's just that the third place car is not being slowed down. Now, in this case, it's a little bit different because Richie was a little bit faster, definitely more consistent, we'll put it that way, than what some of these other guys were. So it's just basically trying to find your hole, really. Diller kept running farther and farther down. There's Richie's hole. They're staying off of the middle right now. Mm-hmm. Richie gets a good enough run here down the straightaway. You kind of almost have to make your move there. You really don't have much of an option.
Yeah.
So when this
slide job right here on the corner exit, I want to talk about for a second because this is an A-class. I can trust all these guys around me slide job. Okay, this slide job doesn't work in your 305 official race. Okay, this slide
doesn't
job
work in your 410 hosted race.
Yeah, this doesn't. This is 2 cars in the catch fence, and the ambulance is coming out. If it's any other session, honestly, I mean DSRL is one of the best for clean races because we've all raced each other for so many seasons. We'll lift, we'll tuck underneath you, we'll lag back and give you a chance to gather your car. This, I mean, it's 2 to go coming to the line for a championship spot. You have to throw this.
Yep, and I was just thinking I saw a duck below him, and I'm gonna have to throw the slider here, or it's game over from there. So I just had to go get him there in the corner, and I hope we were clear. I just kind of chucked it in there, and Michael's a clean racer, so he lifted for me there, and we got around.
And I talked about in the first video marbles. Okay, we see every lap around. There's marbles, 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 marbles through the middle. You don't always have to risk everything on the top. Everybody thinks, man, these guys are ripping the top every lap. Like, I just can't do that. You don't always have to. Richie hasn't gone to the top once, and he got 4th in this race. You don't have to be an ace on the top to top 5 to podium to win races. If you can be faster than somebody in the middle of the track, on the bottom of the track, you don't have to be a professional iRacer and run the cushion.
Absolutely. Like Tyler, he's one of the best, and he's he runs most of his races on the bottom.
On the bottom,
so
yeah.
It just shows you how
he's a
everything works.
catfish.
Yes, he is.
Well, and going back to that slide job too, like you said, it's 2 to go. It's time to go.
Yeah.
It's not.
You've
That's not
sat
a move
long
that you
enough.
pull. That's not a move that you throw on lap 2,
Absolutely.
or not even lap 20. That's not a lap 20 move, and it's not to say that you do it to wreck a guy or anything like that. But it's, you throw those on. You can put them on guys like Sheridan generally, because there he knows that he's coming. He's already on the brake.
Yeah.
So when you're racing with Richie and Shay and a lot of the City guys, the Brent Marks guys, really a lot of the Wicked Cushion guys, you'll see that where guys race like that, hard but competitive, but at the same time, when it's 2 to go, it's time to go. You're not going to stick somebody in the fence for it, but at the same time, you can throw that with somebody that you trust. So it's not something that you want to go do, turn 1, lap 1 of a heat race. But in a situation like this,
that was my whole point in the Lanier video too. That heat race you said, third can catch up if first and second want to throw slide jobs the whole time. The whole point of that video was just patience. You were patient for 31 laps. It's 29 laps, whatever. It's time to go when the white flag's out. You can't sit around. Okay, this is for a championship. I'll get him on the next lap because there's not another lap.
Yeah, you have one chance at that point to really make it work. That was the championship move. So to speak.
And hell of a move. I mean, just you can look at that and say, damn, he parked right on his nose. He got a championship out of it. Nobody wrecked.
Time to go.
Well, and that and the other thing too, momentum. If you go back and watch it from Sheridan's view, he didn't have to slow down.
Yeah, he didn't have to jam on the brakes.
Slow down very much.
Yeah.
The difference was, and actually, part of the reason I was not in the feature of this deal was because I had a guy park it on my nose, and it wasn't. But it was a park it on my nose to the point where there was a 20-mile-an-hour difference between the two.
Right.
So when you're dealing with a 20-mile-an-hour difference between the two and you park it on my nose, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So, but like right there,
they were going 70 and 74. Really,
that's 3 mile an hour.
So Richie was actually faster than what Sheridan was at that point. So if you look at it there, by the time that it's all said and done, Sheridan lost nothing.
Right.
So when somebody sees that and they go, well, that was kind of close, always take in consideration of there's a difference between throwing a good slide job and parking it on somebody's nose to where they have to jam on the brakes in order to keep from hitting you.
Yeah.
So and in that case, at worst, Sheridan had to get out of the throttle a little bit, which there's nothing wrong with. I know I lift for slide jobs all the time. So does Richie, Shay. A lot of the other guys do too. But in this case, nobody really had to. You just had to breathe the throttle a little bit. So always keep that in mind, especially when you're throwing sliders at places where you don't have the corner speed, like your short tracks. Lernerville, you can do that sort of stuff because of momentum. But your short tracks where it's a lot of starting and stopping, you really can't do that. So the way that you race on a half mile is totally different from the way you race in a quarter mile.
So Flagman's waving the white flag right here. I got to know what your heart rate is at this point. You've got to be nervous as all hell. Just having a terrible luck in the fixed race that you're in championship points for. Michael ended up getting that one. Here's redemption time. White flag's out. You see Cameron go off the track. Car's still racing in front of you. Car inside of you. It's white flag. Again, what is going through the mind of Richie Preston?
Well, got by Michael there, so that was kind of my main goal. Just
Now it's keep it on the track, right?
It's basically just keep it on the track and don't run it off. You know, it's the last lap here, so we kind of just want to finish it out here. And
Like this guy in the black car right here.
Yeah,
I know that feeling as well.
Yeah.
Sliding
we
for third.
We were getting pumped here, and Shay jumped it, and I was kind of there. And,
yeah. Luckily, the line's right here.
Yeah, and I got. Luckily, this was the last lap. Yes, and I literally drive through Shay's cockpit and somehow get third place, or fourth place. So, that was interesting to say the least. But in the end, it all worked out there, and we just needed to finish in front of Michael and clinch the championship.
And here's my mindset on this. I see Cameron go off. I know Cameron's in third, and I get a car outside on my call from the spotter. And I'm thinking, it's got to be Josh. This is all of a sudden a race for third. Car, the wing is all, I think it's on 9, maybe 8, 10, I don't know. It's so tight, it won't turn in. I try to stab the brake. I try to just keep the throttle in it so it'll stay turning, and it wouldn't. It's just, I couldn't do anything about it. I mean, it was Lernerville's last lap. I don't have to pay for this car at the end of the day. So full send on this. And luckily, the line is close enough here because I don't know where we would have finished had we had to go another lap, or if the line was farther down the track, like a Williams Grove or something. All in all, though, right. I mean, just everybody sends it off into the forest and the boats and stuff.
The stratosphere.
To
me, the move of the race though was lap 1 off of turn 2.
Yeah,
for Richie, because if you go, when you go back and watch this, when he gets off of 2 and there's 3 wide right through the middle, there's contact right there. If Richie doesn't lift, it's race over. It's gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's absolutely gone. There's nothing you can do to get it back. So you have to basically keep the mindset of losing a small battle to win the war later.
Yeah. And look at their RPMs.
I always race like that. Always race like that.
You're at max 90, almost 99,000 RPMs, and it drops down to 63, 62. So you could tell how fast you got out of the gas, probably even on the brake, maybe a touch. And then just again, right in front of you, almost. This lap is more stressful than the last lap.
We've had bad luck like the last 2 days before this race, like just getting absolutely destroyed. Wrong place, wrong time, you name it. But we had the good Lord above looking down on us on this race, and we pulled it out.
Yeah. And no wins through this whole season. 12 races, no wins, and you still were able to finish with more points than everybody else.
Just got to be consistent.
Just being smart.
Just top 10 runs every week. Just hit your marks and take your time, and it's going to pay off in the end.
Coming around for the interview. I'm sure after this final lap, I mean, I heard you. We probably can't repeat what you said.
Go to Shay Pez on Twitch.
Yeah, we'll send you guys. We'll link some clips in the description for you guys to watch. I've never heard him more excited in my life, and then immediately apologizing for something that wasn't even nearly his fault.
I'll be real honest. I was screaming loud enough too for Richie that I thought he just completely fenced you as well. And, and then I went back and rewatched it. I'm like, oh, that was totally not his fault at all. And Shay, you need to apologize. But
I told him I got off that night. I went and showered, went to bed, and I was like, God, I would probably uninstall iRacing if he flipped 6 inches before the line and didn't get to cross and finish a lap down. And I told him the next day, I was like, dude, if that would have happened, I probably would have cried for you. Like, I would have felt so bad that I wouldn't have been able to hold in the emotions for you. But I mean, here, park it around with the,
hit the tire.
Top 3, park it on the tire, add a little damage to the car, no big deal. Make it look like you wore it. Get the uniform dirty, slide in the second when it's 10-0.
Yeah.
Oh, I never saw you park it up there with. Nice job. See, on the broadcast, on the broadcast, you're still back here.
It just sat there, and he
literally bounced for
12
40
hours.
Good. I mean, you're rocking out in that thing right now, dude.
Yeah, like we got the speakers blaring. We're
Rocky
jamming.
Mike Pinez.
And I wish
P-Nez.
I wish Roger would have voice chat in here because God, that would have been some classic moments for sure over the voice chat. Because I mean, everybody, even on TeamSpeak, congrats, everybody, and we miss all that, but we get it in the broadcast and stuff like that. But you're sitting up there with your teammate, Tyler won 4 of these, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 of these. I
Yeah.
think he might have missed 3 weeks, but there's 2 drop weeks, and still more consistent than a guy who won 4 races. So, it speaks to it, and it's patience from the first video and consistency over a 12-week season, especially for guys that if you're going into iRacing trying to compete for the 305s or the 360, 410, weekly championship, whatever it is. If you can finish the races, you're gonna be sitting pretty at the end of those. Well, I guess it's 13 weeks.
And
this
that goes
season,
for official racing. That goes to any form of racing. Like I've won 2 championships now. I've won a DOB championship and a DSRL championship, and I have yet to win a race in either series.
Yep. DOB
That just
championship.
literally
What, 2
shows
weeks
you
before that?
how- Yes, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That
So
literally just shows you how consistent we are. Just if you finish races, you're gonna be sitting good when it comes to points racing. And that's what I am. I'm a points racer. I'm here to win, obviously, but I'm more of just a consistent guy. And if you're consistent, it's gonna really pay off.
Yep. We are at the 31-minute mark, guys. Any final thoughts? Billy, we'll start with you.
No, just like you were saying, if you're new, 305s, 360s, 410s, whatever it may be, focus on consistency first. Don't focus on, don't go out there and see, this guy's up there just railing the top, I need to go do that. Learn your car first, understand it, and slow yourself down. And these cars, a lot of cases, slower is faster. So keep that in mind for anybody that's new out there, and keep having fun and keep having good races. Everybody stays patient. These are a lot more fun than when they're ultra aggressive, and so keep the fun in it. And
Richie?
Just like Billy said, have fun, and if you have fun, like that's our main goal here. Is we're friends that like to have fun on here, and if you have fun, good things are gonna happen. Like we've realized that in the long run with some bad stuff happening, we just shake it off and go back and get back in the throttle and have some fun. So, and we can't be here without all of our sponsors like Anderson Speedway, Motorsports Beat, Jessup Logistics, Ryan Hergott Real Estate. He does a lot for us. BS Airlines, Odell Photography, Catch Fence Apparel, Fairway Independent Mortgage Company, and Roofco. I think of guys enough.
Yep. All right, guys, we're gonna cut it here. As always, big shout out to Tommy Brandon with School of Sim Racing. For all you good, new iRacers and stuff, if you're looking for setups or a guy who knows what he's talking about when it comes to shocks and torsion bars and all that good stuff, Tommy Brandon with School of Sim Racing. Find him on Facebook. There's all kinds of links to Discord and the NARC League and all this stuff set up for beginners or more advanced drivers as well. Don't be afraid to reach out to myself, Billy, Richie, anybody on our team. You can find us on Twitter. Mine is at ShapesTV, ShaePzTV. Billy is Sprint Car Cast. Billy has a Twitch, the Tunican 79, just how it sounds. Mine is just Shapes, ShaePz. And other than that, again, like Richie said, all our sponsors and everybody that helps us do what we love on the nights after work and stuff like that. We thank you guys and appreciate every single person that watches these videos and is learning from them. We love the comments. We love the interaction. I know it's another long one, but we wanted to do this for Richie today so he could talk about just what it feels like to be a champion. And we all started somewhere. Richie started somewhere. I started somewhere. We all had 1200 iRating at one point. Anybody can get to this point. I can guarantee you, myself, Billy, Richie, any of us are willing to help. Tommy Brandon loves helping. He does it every day. Just reach out, guys. That's it for me. For Richie, for Billy. We'll see you guys in the next one. Later.